Hey guys, Jordude here, and in today's episode of Learn to Skateboard, I'm going to teach you how to do a heel flip. Alright, so the heel flip is pretty much just like a kick flip. Your board's going to be doing a 360 rotation around its axis, except the difference between a kick flip and a heel flip is that your board's going to be flipping the opposite direction. So for a kick flip, you would flick and flick out to behind you, and your board will flip that way. But with a heel flip, you'll be flicking out with your heel side of your foot, and that'll get your board to flip the other way, kind of like away from you. Now the heel flip is probably one of the more basic flip tricks you want to learn, so right after you do a kick flip, I would suggest trying to do heel flips if you want, or some people even like to do heel flips before they learn how to kick flip. Alright, so the foot positioning, I like to have my foot positioning almost like a frontside 180. So pretty much what I do is I have my back foot, I like to have it kind of off on the tail, a little bit centered, but I like to have my heel hanging off the tail a little bit and onto this bottom side of the tail, so around here, and that will balance out with my front foot because I have my front foot with my toes hanging off. I usually like to have quite a bit of my toe hanging off like this, and I have it slightly angled towards the wheels, and it will be a little bit in between the middle of the board and slightly below the front balls, so around here. And that way I'm rolling nice and straight and my feet are comfortable. So definitely every foot position is different for each person, so move around to whatever you feel is right. Alright, so to do this trick, what you're going to want to do is be rolling. I like to roll at a slow to moderate pace when I'm first starting out, and it's definitely a lot easier if you do this trick at least moving a little bit than stationary in my opinion. So be rolling a little bit, have your feet positioned, and when you're ready to do your trick, you want to bend down your knees. And when you extend your knees, just like an ollie, you will pop your tail right when you extend your knees up. So you pop the tail, and when your board comes up like this, you want to have your front foot rolling up. And just like an ollie, you want to have your ankle rolling up the board, rolling up the grip pin to get your board off the ground and start to even out. And this time for the heel flip, what you're going to be doing is when you're sliding your foot out and up the board, you're going to want to slide it up and then flick out with your heel. Now some people like to do this trick where they flick it more with the heel, and some people do it off the side of your foot. It's really up to you and how you find yourself doing the trick. But I like to flick off with my heel, and basically when I slide it up and I kick out, kind of do like a ninja kick out, and you don't want to kick down because that would be really awkward and you probably won't land it. Your board is going to be flipping weird and you might hurt yourself. So flick forward and out. You don't want to flick it out towards the nose because your board will go flying and you won't be able to land it for sure. So make sure you kick it out at a nice angle. And what that'll do is your board will start flipping because of that flick you made, and your board will make the rotation, and your feet's going to be over the board. Once you flick out, your front foot just wants to hang out for a little bit, just so the board can make the full rotation. And then you're going to want to stop the flip when you see the grip tip with your back foot, and then your front foot's just going to come back and you just land. Alright, so some common problems you might get when trying to do a heel flip is that your board's going to be over flipping or under flipping. Basically, to fix that, all you have to do is adjust your foot positioning to what you think needs to be done. If you have more foot hanging off, you'll flip faster. More foot on, you get a slower flip and probably a more controlled flip. So adjust your feet, and if that's still not working out, make sure you're flicking it at the right amount of force. So you don't want to flick it too hard and get the board to overflip, and you don't want to flick it too little where your board won't flip at all. Try to find that happy medium where your board makes a nice and good rotation. Another common problem people will have is that your board's going rocket. Now if your board's going rocket or some crazy direction you don't want to do, basically what you want to do is practice your front foot and make sure your front foot is flying up the board first. If your front foot doesn't slide up, your board's just going to be in that motion from your pop, and it's going to be flipping like that. And you don't want to credit card yourself, so don't do that. Make sure your front foot is sliding up the grip tape, and when it flicks out around here on the nose, and that'll be a good spot for your board to even out. Another common problem people might get is that they're landing in front of your board. Now if you're landing in front of your board, that's probably because of the motion of the trick. When you do this trick, you're going to be flicking forward, and when you do that, your body might tend to move with your feet, and then you just end up going forward too. So to help practice that, just make sure when you pop and jump, make sure you really force yourself to just jump straight up. This will also help with another problem where your board will be turning, or your body will be turning or something. It's all in your shoulders, so that when you pop the board and flick out, you have to make sure when you jump up, you jump straight up and your shoulders are parallel to your board, and not prevent any kind of movement within your board that you don't want. The last common problem I could think about is just landing one-footed. If you're landing just one-footed, that's perfectly fine, because that means you're doing everything else right. You're doing the flick, the motion, and everything right. You're just not committing to the trick. So basically all you have to do is try it into grass or hold on to something if you want. And then once you get your confidence up, it's all really about really committing to the trick. Once you pop the board and flick out, you just really gotta focus on jumping up with both of your legs sucked up, and focus on your body staying on top of your board. And then yeah, when you're learning the trick, you're probably just learning on flat ground anyway, so it shouldn't hurt too bad if you fall, so don't worry about that. Alright guys, so that's all I have to tell you about heel flips. Go try them out right now. If you can't, then try them out in a bit. And definitely go practice them and land them. They're really fun to do. I prefer them over kick flips. And once you get them down, it's pretty consistent because it's all in your muscle memory, and it's just, yeah, go just try them out right now. And if there's any questions you have or anything I left out, please leave a comment in the description and I will get back to you on that. And if you have any suggestions on any trick tips you want me to do, just leave a comment below as well. Thanks for watching guys. Subscribe for more tutorials, trick tips, and a whole bunch of other stuff I post daily. And see you guys next time. Peace. Basically with the bones bushings, you don't get any squishing out on any side. There's no blubber coming out. And you get a more responsive turn. So when you press down in your truck to make a turn, and then you finish your turn, your truck will shoot back up, and the bushing will bring the truck back to its original flat, even position.